What's up, folks? Welcome back in to JE Live. It's been a minute. Um, and let's see. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Had a little bit of a weird lag, but I think we're good now. Yeah, so welcome back in. It's been a minute. Obviously I've been putting out some videos, but I haven't gone live in a little bit. Kind of a change to my schedule, doing a lot of deliveries lately with UberEats and um, just all sorts of stuff, right? So here's the thing, okay? I'm not saying that Aaron Donald is going to retire. That's not my point here that I'm making. Here's my thing, okay? I think it's starting to get a little real. Before I was like, it's not a big deal, and I do know that it's very much a ploy to try to get more money. It's a negotiation tactic. I'm not saying it's not, but it is starting to get real. And I have some mixed feelings about this because I know everyone's like, "Oh, we'll get your money, bro. Like it's all good." I'm not the biggest fan of this approach. Okay, I'm just not. I appreciate everything Aaron Donald has done for the Rams. That is not what I'm gonna say, but you guys know I'm 100% unapologetically me. So I've made takes out there that have pissed off people so much so they have literally unsubscribed from the channel. I probably get unsubscribers every day. Like they probably like 20 minutes of my Kyron Williams tape video or whatever, and as soon as I said something negative about Cam Akers, they unfollowed me. I've already seen it, but I agree with AMS there. Donald is absolutely holding the Rams hostage, and I'm not really cool with that. I understand it's a business. I understand it was the other way around, and he was an older veteran player. Sure, that would definitely be something to talk about there. And I know that that happens, but I just kind of feel like he's not going about this the right way. I understand if he wants to retire, it's very, very disappointing because he's somebody I really felt like was going to play for a long time. You look at Calais Campbell playing into his mid 30s to late 30s. That is kind of what I expected with him. Not really retiring like Barry Sanders did. Big reason why, Barry Sanders retired, if you guys, forgot about that, is he was trapped on the Detroit Lions. With all due respect to the Lions fans out there that do watch this channel, and I know there's actually a decent amount of you, probably the second most of any fan base on this channel. Obviously, the Rams are one. I think the Lions fans are two. So I'm not trying to offend you, but he was trapped with the Lions. You guys know they weren't winning anything. And so he knew that there was no other way. He wasn't winning. He was playing a very ridiculous position that you're constantly getting beat up. And so he retired on top. But with Aaron Donald at 31, the average 31-year-old simply does not look as good as he does. They're not as fit. They're not as into it. And I really, really felt like, Aaron Donald was going to be one of those guys that played at least until 35, 36 years old. What I'm not the biggest fan of is the constant, he's already proven everybody wrong. Guys don't play football just to prove the naysayers wrong. They're the ones that are constantly spouting out that they don't care what other people think. They just play ball. They just do their job. So I don't subscribe to that notion, but what it comes down to with Aaron Donald is I just think I understand what he's trying to do, and I understand it's a business. But at some point or another, the Rams are sitting there, free agency has already passed. So if Aaron Donald were to, retire, they're going to have to make a move. And honestly, like, I'll be real with you, Von Miller would probably have been back if Aaron Donald retired. Like, they probably would have given Von the Aaron Donald money. So there's a lot of kind of, I don't love that. He did go on I Am an Athlete, talked about the idea that he's okay. He's at peace with where he's at. He won a Super Bowl. He has Defensive Player of the Year awards. But at the same time, being, at one of the NBA games, he said, he could get addicted to winning, and winning one makes you want to win another. So he's saying all the right things to play both ends of the table. Like, hey, I do want to return, that type of deal. Like, it's still out there that he wants to return, so the Rams still feel like negotiating is actually worth it. But also at the same time, kind of having one foot in, one foot out of the pool, because he's also kind of saying, you know what, I want to return, but it's got to be worth my while. And My biggest issue with this is that, and again, love Aaron Donald. It's really hard for me to say this is the guy I wanted in the draft. When they got him, I was ecstatic, and he's meant so much to this organization. But it's kind of sad because I'm sitting here like I should be happy for him. He should be able to retire and all of that. But this is now the second time like he's done something like that. I mean, keep in mind he did sit out a game. He sat out Sean McVay's first game for a contract. Okay, as you guys know, I'm not really a big fan of that. Again, I understand the business, but now you're cutting into, you're not playing your end of the deal. You're not playing your, you're not, basically holding up, the contractual obligations. So I don't love that. Now with Cooper Kupp, okay, there's a lot of talk about him getting his extension. Okay, so why is he there? Why is he the first one in, the last one out? Because that's all I've been told, okay? People that have been at Rams OTAs and Rams camp have told me that Cooper Kupp has taken over as the Aaron Donald in that room, okay? I understand OTAs isn't mandatory, right? But it's pretty good to be there to get all of your team together. And losing Sebastian Joseph Day and losing Darius Williams, you do have guys that aren't there from last year. You have new bodies in there. It's good to get acclimated. And I understand Donald doesn't do the OTAs. And it works because of his play on the field. But it's just something that bothers me, man. I just can't let it go. I can't sit here with a platform of mine and just say, like, I'm okay with it. Like, again, he's the $1 million athlete, not me. But I'm going to say my piece, and I'm going to say this. Cooper Kupp also is trying to get a contract. He just had a triple crown, and for the first time since 2004, might I add, Steve Smith with the Panthers, but he had the first triple crown since 2004 at the wide receiver position, and he did it with, Robert Woods went down halfway through the year. He had to take over in the Super Bowl when OBJ went down. And he won the Super Bowl MVP. He really was the MVP last year. That doesn't mean Aaron Donald didn't have a great year. Just Cooper Kupp had a phenomenal season that was just unlike anybody else. And maybe the greatest season in wide receiver NFL history. Now, Cooper Kupp is at OTAs. Cooper Kupp is not only at OTAs, Cooper Kupp also is up for another contract. You're not really hearing about it. He's not out in the press saying, yeah, I might retire, might not, all that. Cooper Kupp won a ring, right? Did Cooper Kupp not do that? Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year. Donald won a Defensive Player of the Year, not this year, but in the past. If we were going to do the whole, he's got nothing left to prove, haven't we already hit that threshold with Cooper Kupp, who was an FCS wide receiver, was drafted in the third round, was told he was too slow coming out because he didn't run a fast 40 time, then goes to the Rams and becomes the best receiver in football and wins a Super Bowl? Is that proving everyone wrong? I don't know. That seems like it's proving everyone wrong, right? Cooper Kupp? So you can see why I don't love that ideology behind, Aaron Donald leaving because, it's proving everyone wrong. But here's another thing I don't like. I don't like the 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If I don't get paid enough, I'm not coming back. If you want to retire, just retire. We've been talking about this since January. I feel for Rams fans, I do, being one of them. It's really frustrating because it's almost like we can't have nice things, right? You have the greatest show on turf, they're becoming a dynasty, and then Mike Martz and company, it just blows up. And then, you watch the Patriots and Tom Brady, and he lasts forever. And, he takes pay cut after pay cut, wins multiple Super Bowls. This guy he's coming out of retirement to play until 45 and maybe beyond. Meanwhile, the Rams have the best player in football in Aaron Donald, and he wants to retire at 31. You're seeing Sean McVay rumors about him retiring at 35 or even earlier. It does seem kind of unfair. I totally understand why Rams fans are upset and annoyed because it doesn't really seem fair. Not to be that guy, not to be all pouty, but it really doesn't seem fair. It's one of those things like, you just can't have nice things, right? You win a Super Bowl, and now, like, I understand you win the Super Bowl, you got a target on your back. We all know that. On top of it, we've seen, like, the Ravens, when they won the Super Bowl, their entire defense got plucked in free agency. We know that. But the Rams have gone through all that. They've already gone through all that, and now, they don't know whether or not their best player is going to be back. I don't think that's fair. I think they should be able to know, like, hey, Aaron, are you going to play? Because at some point, like, they're going to have a first-round pick in 2024. That is the next time they have a first-round pick. And basically the vibe that I get is that the first-round pick in 2024, at least in my opinion, is going to be something that is utilized down the road for the successor of Matthew Stafford. But this changes everything. Because I think truly, if Aaron Donald retires before free agency and gives the Rams that heads up, and he just really doesn't have, his head's not in it, all that, then I will say this. Then the Rams probably sign Von Miller or somebody else. So they already do that, right? And then they're ready to go for the season. But because it's the OTAs, and we're going into June, and the Rams do not know whether or not their best player is going to be with them this season, on top of it, it's not going to come at, an easy price. They're going to have to pay him a ton of money, which they can do it, but it's not going to make things easy to bring back OBJ and, add some others. It is kind of, a hard thing. And I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, they could pay Aaron Donald. I mean, I don't think that would be that hard. But if Aaron Donald, backs out, now the Rams, because free agency's up, there's no one really worth, no one that could even come close to replacing him. The Rams would have to look in the trade market in the season, which I think they were already considering doing before Donald. But I think now that those later round picks, those later first round picks, that might have been reserved for the future, maybe the future quarterback of the Rams after Stafford, all of that. Now those might have to be allocated for the here and now. And I don't even know if a team is going to want to trade for a 2024 first-round pick. But now you're going to have to really offload those picks because you're going to have to get somebody. If Donald doesn't come back, you're going to have to replace Donald. He means too much to your defense to not replace him. So, I think, I'm not saying he's going to retire, and I'm not saying I buy that he's retiring, but I do think it's something to discuss. And what happens if he does retire? And I think it's fair to talk about that. I think it's fair to have opinions about that. I've seen sides where you can't blame Aaron Donald. He needs to get paid. I've seen signs where you can blame Aaron Donald because he's already been paid and he needs to, hold up his end of the contract. I think that I understand both sides. One is a little bit more of an old school approach, especially I understand contracts in terms of, the real world, but football players that get paid millions of dollars aren't living in the you and I world, right? They don't hold up, like there's no 2 weeks notice, there's different things move differently in the world of an athlete. They're human beings. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that holding up their end of the contract is a little different between you and I doing, someone's lawn, for instance. We have a contract in place. I do all the contractor work to, help fix their, whatever, landscape or whatever. That's part of the contract. It's a little different than Aaron Donald saying he wants to get paid more, when he's playing a violent sport and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's not the same thing. But it is really, really intriguing to talk about this because I don't think it's a guarantee that he is back like I used to. I think it is a PR ploy for his side, I do think, and that is the way that, Todd France, his agent, has operated. I think the thing that really made me start to think, okay, maybe he could retire was the signing with that Kanye West, agency. And no, I'm not saying because Kanye West, that is after football. That's not a football agency. That was the first step in my mind thinking, you know what? He could actually retire. And a lot of the reason is he's got family in Pittsburgh. He's playing on the other side of the country. Okay. But it's certainly interesting. and I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. I would be really annoyed though if he did. Selfishly, sure, but I don't care. I'm gonna say my point. Matthew, thank you so much for donating. Really appreciate you. Never will fault anyone for their opinion. By the way, I agree. Same here. I won't fault you for having your own opinion on this matter. I understand we're probably not going to 100% agree. It is a little bit of a controversial topic. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, talking about Aaron Donald, and I mean, since I started covering the team in 2016, talking about Aaron Donald and going through the whole pay the man thing and going through it now, it's like talking politics. People are so on one side or the other. I mean, I'm willing to hear out both sides. And I don't think it's the end of the world if the Rams pay him. I'm not saying they shouldn't pay him, but my Lord, guys, it's a very divisive topic. I've found anyway on Twitter, just over the years. The whole pay the man thing, because I mean, even though I understand, the politics and the nature and just the landscape of the NFL and how things work, with the business, I'm not the biggest fan of holding out. And what I'll always bring up is how I feel like people penciled in Jalen Ramsey to be that guy to hold out because he was always called a diva. He was always like his character was always trashed in Jacksonville. They made fun of his press conferences in the locker, things like that, right? His interviews in the locker room, press conferences, whatever. Jalen Ramsey did not do anything that was disruptive towards the team at all. Not at all. He did not at any point threaten to not come back. He did not at any point, with the contract, he did not at any point not show up to OTAs or training camp or what have you. Again, I know OTAs is not mandatory, but, my point is that Jalen Ramsey, despite all of the trash talk that, the media had and, people had about him, just kind of prejudging him, if you will, calling him a diva, yada, yada. What has he done? What has he done that has been distracting to the Rams? I don't think he's done anything. I think the big reason they get all these stars, I think, is because Jalen is kind of the opposite. He's constantly trying to get guys to join the Rams. He's a recruiter. So, it's tough for me. It really is because I love Aaron Donald. But I'm not going to sit here and lie that I'm not somewhat annoyed by the way this whole thing has gone down. I'm just not going to lie to you guys because I am annoyed that it's almost June and we don't know if Aaron Donald's going to be on the Rams this upcoming season. It's not, you don't have to put in your 2-week notice, but for a team that drafted with you, paid you, stuck with you, obviously you're the best player in the league. I'm not saying you're not, but a team that has treated you well, obviously paid you handsomely, and is still willing to work with you, you think that they, like, if he was really going to retire, like, he would, like, give them notice. Like, I don't know if he's going to retire, okay? But I'm not guaranteeing you that he doesn't retire anymore. Like, before, I felt like there was no way. I didn't buy any of that. Felt like it. But now I'm like, okay, it's real. If it's not this year, it's going to be soon. It's probably going to be a 1-year thing. He'll probably ask for multiple years in the contract, but I think the Rams should just give him a 1-year deal and test him on that. But I don't know, folks. It's like I said, I don't know why it's such a divisive topic. I think everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Thank you, Joakim. Appreciate that. Glad to be back on live. It's been a minute. But like I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't care if you like Donald, obviously. I like Donald as well. But if you side with him unapologetically, fine. Like, that is your prerogative. You do that. That is all you. I respect it. But I am going to say what I have to say. And it's just gotten to the point to me where now it's starting to, I'm not going to say it is affecting the team. But, if it gets into training camp and he's not there, I don't know. And I definitely agree with that, CT Rams. There has to be a happy medium. I just... It's like Rams fans are sitting here like, all right, is the best player in the league going to play for our team or not? And if not, the way everyone talks about players, and as this was just brought up, Akeem Hicks to the Bucks. There you go. That would have been a nice replacement if Donald retires, but now it's out the window. This is these are the things that the Rams are going to go through. If he does retire, it's going to be a problem. So, again, I hate. It's not. I don't think it's disrespectful, because I'm acknowledging how great he is, and I'm appreciative of what he's done. But I just think that there was a better way to handle this, and holding the Rams hostage, I don't think was the best way. Whatever anyone says, that's pretty much what he's doing. I mean, that's it may be a business, but you are holding someone hostage when you do something like this. What's up, Brandon? I think, by the way, I gotta point out, your Instagram was hacked, if you don't know. I gotta point it out because someone is like posing as you with crypto. Or maybe that's you. I'm good. If it's real, I hope you make a lot of money. But if it's not you, then you've been hacked, and I've been hacked as well. The Downtown Rams account, we're still trying to get it back. So, I would try and get on that. If you can, I would just make a new Instagram. But I did notice that. Yeah, I agree with the make a decision point. What's up, Ray? Oh, I don't know. That would be bad. That would be a horrible look for Donald if he just didn't play, if he got paid. There's no way that would happen. Yeah, scumbags on Instagram. I don't think it's Stay Legit. I think it was something else. It was similar, but it wasn't the same person. But yeah, you gotta watch out for the scumbags on Instagram that are trying to hack you. Also, guys, if you could do me a favor, we have over 90 people in here, which is great. Be sure to hit the like button. It's the thumbs up thing. Hit the like button. It really does help me out. Let's, YouTube, get me back in those algorithms, because I haven't gone live in a little bit, so I'm not in the live algorithm right now. So this is just pretty much as organic as a reach as it gets. My subscribers are seeing me, no one else really. So we gotta get back in those algos. But yeah, what's up, Peo? How we doing? Yeah, again, it's just tough for me to talk about this because it's one of those topics where damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I think it would be a problem if the whole fan base agreed on one specific thing in regards to Aaron Donald. So I'm glad that there are two separate ideas, because I think it makes us smarter in the end, hearing opposing viewpoints and whatnot. But it is disappointing when people take it another level, and I have seen that. So. Am I planning on doing an MCU live soon? I did it last night, actually. Missed you guys there. I did it. We did fan casting. So I do MCU live, MCU Edge live on the call-in app every Monday, and I do the Rams Edge, which is entirely Rams. You can call in on the call-in app twice a week. I don't have specific days because my whole week is weird. Tomorrow, the reason I'm going live tonight is tomorrow I will be at Yankee Stadium watching Yankees Angels, which I cannot wait for. So that's why I'm doing it today. And it's been so long, so I feel like the Rams are going to bring back Aaron Donald, but I just don't like how long it's taken, and I don't like the approach. I don't like hearing like, yeah, like I'm at peace, and like, all right, dude, if you want to retire, like, retire. Like, you know what I mean? I don't like the whole, yeah, well, if they throw 5 million more, 10 million more, maybe I'll consider. I don't like that. I don't like holding the Rams hostage. Again, maybe I'm wrong for that, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, no, and that's my thing. If he didn't take such great care of himself, well, two things. if he didn't take such great care of himself and have that ownership level that he takes with his game, then one, I wouldn't feel sad if he didn't take care of himself the way he does. I wouldn't feel bad about talking about him negatively. And I don't feel like I'm talking about him negatively. I'm just giving my opinion. So I wouldn't feel as bad because then he wouldn't be giving me, it wouldn't be that hard, right? If a guy didn't care, I just, okay, well, you don't care about your weight, you don't care about your body, you don't care about putting yourself in game shape, you can go. But that's not Donald. He does put himself in that position. So that's the first reason why it's painful for me to talk about him. Secondly, it is painful because, like, why would you retire? You are in such good shape. Like, you can continue going. This is the start of the next potential great dynasty, in my opinion. So, like, you are at the focal point of that. So it is frustrating for sure. I didn't see the new Top Gun. I don't really like Top Gun. I'm probably gonna see it someday, but yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that original movie, so I don't know. I heard it's great, but I don't know if it's for me. Are you leaning more he's going to play, or do you just leaning toward we don't have Aaron Donald on the team? I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to be back, but I think it was worth discussing because it is starting to get a little real. You know, it is because you have outlets that are reporting, okay, he might not be back, and it is starting to get real. And I mean, Aaron Donald, maybe not even him, maybe more so his agent. You know, his agent Todd France, who really started the whole. It happened with Fletcher Cox. In between his contract, the 3-year opt out that he wanted to have for Aaron Donald, like he started that. So Todd France would probably just pull his client away and just be like, you know what, we're not signing any deal. Like if you know this is our value, this is what we'll come back for, and you know if we don't like it, you know if you don't like it, tough. So like I feel like it's more his agent, but again, you know by that measure, I guess it's also Aaron Donald. Jake, I agree with you. It's irritating the way Aaron Donald is handling this. Either way, I believe he will retire with the Rams after a few more years and a few more rings. That's the hope. I mean, it's already kind of disappointing having to realize if he does come back, he's probably only going to be there for like 2 years, right? I mean, he clearly, if he has retirement on his mind, he's not going to stay much longer, okay? And so that I think is the most disappointing thing, most disappointing dynamic of it all is that, he's not going to be with the Rams a long time. I understand he's 31, so it's likely that he wasn't anyway, but, it's going to be like a 2-3 year deal. And that's probably going to be it. And we're probably going to know when he's going to retire if that does happen. So, as crazy as this sounds, I mean, I still think the Rams can win a Super Bowl without Aaron Donald. They would just, because I think they would change how they operate their defense. I think the way the way things work with Donald right now is they can do things because of Donald's ability that other teams can't. But they would just have to kind of go back to the drawing board and change up their defense a bit and, not be as risky and things like that because they don't have the presence of Aaron Donald. And you can't really emulate that with anybody. So, obviously you have a chance. You go out, you trade draft picks, you get a big time pass rusher, but it wouldn't be the same. You just don't find interior rushers like Aaron Donald. And, Akeem Hicks off the board, you got to hope they make it happen because if not, yeah. 80 will be a Ram for a few more years and a few more rings in Snead I Trust. That's the hope. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what it would have to be. Yeah, I feel like there are fans that just really respect him, respect the sport and don't want him to leave. And then there are, Niners fans, Cardinals fans, and Seahawks fans that are tired of seeing him ragdoll their quarterback and are hoping he retires. I've seen a lot of, Giants, Jets, Ravens, a bunch of fans that, definitely don't want Aaron Donald to leave just because of the talent that he is in the league. Yeah, he's taking good care of himself. It's one of those things like I'm surprised if he retires before J.J. Watt. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I'd have no words. JJ Watt's been through the ringer with injuries. No, but the organization treated Kurt Warner like crap. I'll say that to this day. I do not like the way the organization treated Kurt Warner. That's why I don't blame him for feeling like he's more of a Cardinal. Is he recruiting players though? I don't feel like he's recruiting on the level of like Jalen Ramsey. I think he is there, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean it definitely changes a lot if AD leaves. Like the blitzing, a lot schematically would change. Agreed. Very much agreed. What's up, Ricky? You know, I think he's the best option. Robert Quinn. I think he's the best option. He did. Yeah, I don't know. That would be kind of weird. I think he'll be back. Again, I just think it was definitely worth talking about. You know. I mean, Jason Pierre-Paul's not going to move any needles, but not on the level of Aaron Donald, but I'm sure he'd be in play if they, lost Aaron Donald to retirement. Well, I mean, it's almost like a nice gesture, though. Like, if he told them ahead of time, hey, I'm going to retire, but I'm going to help you get Bobby Wagner, that's a nice gesture. Oh, nice. Yeah, it is crazy. And that's why it'd be so disappointing. A guy that keeps himself in that good of shape, it almost makes more sense why he would retire, actually, because he's been this lucky to not get hurt. And I mean, some of it's luck because obviously not getting injured, you have to be somewhat lucky, but also he's been built not to get hurt as well. But I don't think they get Robert Quinn until maybe halfway through the year. Like if they do get him, I think that they would trade for him at the deadline most likely. Not right now. Maybe they would. Well, that too. And I still think the Rams are the best team. Like even without Aaron Donald, I think they still could win a Super Bowl. But it's exactly what you just said is that it's not just AD leaving. It would be the fact that Greg Gaines, like we would find out how good Greg Gaines really is. And I think Greg Gaines is a really good player. But with Aaron Donald, he looks like an absolute freak show. Like he's really good with Donald. What would he do without him? Same thing with Ashawn Robinson. Same with a lot of players. And I do think that, I mean, that is the biggest concern there is, do you want to know how good Leonard Floyd is without Aaron Donald? Because I really don't. I mean, I think Leonard Floyd is a good player, but I do think he has improved because he's been around Aaron Donald. But I don't want to take away from what the coaching staff does either. So. Yeah, I think the Super Bowl chances drop, but I still think they can win a Super Bowl without Donald. We'll see if they meet the happy medium. Well, you're not wrong. They didn't lose a game without Donald, but I'm not about to say Rams without Donald are better. I'm not going to say that. I do I want to say this and this is also going to sound somewhat negative towards Donald, but if he's leaving because he feels like, okay, like I'm done playing football, I want to be with my family and I'm signing with Donda, so like I can, go and make money as like a personality. How marketable is Aaron Donald right now? Obviously, best player in the league, but he's not Brady, right? Like he's not a quarterback. It's not as simple as just, oh, I'm going to hire this, this agency and like it's just not. Like quarterbacks typically get more, unless they're like a Marshawn Lynch running back, quarterbacks typically get like the dollar signs afterwards. Joe Montana is still in commercials. Joe Namath is still in commercials. Do you see, like, for instance, do you see, John Randall, or like, do you see like Warren Sapp? Like, do you see those guys in commercials? I'm not going to say Lawrence Taylor for obvious reasons, but, Deion Sanders. But Sanders played the cornerback position, and Sanders was primetime, and Sanders was in your face. Like, he always was talking. Very explosive personality, very marketable. Like, Deion Sanders is one of the most marketable athletes in the history of sports. Whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. Incredibly marketable. But as much as I love Aaron Donald, and as great as he is, greatness doesn't always mean marketability. Like, Odell Beckham Jr. is incredibly marketable. He hasn't been the best receiver, maybe at all in his career. He's always been close. But he's not the best receiver in the league right now. Yet I constantly see ads for him. It doesn't always mean the best. So, I mean, think about this. Like, as great as Chris Paul is Chris Paul by far the best point guard? Is Chris Paul by far the best player in the league? No. But I see more commercials with him than I do with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Marketability isn't just a direct reflection of your skill set and how your production is. And so that's one of the things that I kind of I tread a little bit away from. I don't think Aaron Donald would retire because he feels like the endorsement money would be worth his while. I don't think that is what it would be. I think he has a reason for it. I think it would be because of his family. He is playing a violent sport. He is healthy. But the things I don't buy, marketability, that doesn't make any sense to me. I think he's becoming more open. Early on in his career, he was really just like straight ahead. Did his job. Football player. That's what he was. But I think towards the end of his, career, or, towards the later part, getting to now, he's become more marketable. Like, he's been on late night talk shows. Obviously, winning the Super Bowl will do that, but, Yeah, and I get that. I just don't buy the whole, he's done everything he could. Like, I don't think if you're going to retire, like, I don't know. I guess I just expect more from him. Like, I expect he would want more than just one ring. Because, I mean, like, again, goes back to what I was saying earlier. Cooper Kupp proved everyone wrong. 3rd round pick out of an FCS school, ran a slow 40 time at the combine, and became the best wide receiver in the league. Like, if we're going to, again, going back, if we're going to go with that whole Aaron Donald, well, he already proved everyone wrong. Cooper Kupp did. We don't see him retiring. So, I don't know. It's definitely a unique situation for sure. I mean, we've been going on about this for 40 minutes. This one topic. Very unique situation. Haven't seen really anything like it with the Rams. What's up, Ram House TV? How we doing? What's up, Ashton? Good question. I mean, the outlook of the team is they're still a really, really good team even without Donald. You don't want to see them without Donald. But, I mean, I just feel like if Donald were to retire, so say he comes out, he retires June 1st, right? He retires tomorrow. The Rams would then allocate a lot of the picks that they have and obviously all the money that they would have left over. If Donald retired, they would have a lot of cap space. That's like 20 plus million. They would retain a lot of that money. I feel like they would allocate that towards getting a pass rusher. I don't know interior or what, but they would go out and get a pass rusher. And I couldn't tell you who they would go after because I don't know if any team would want to trade to make that team better. But, you know, I mean, they would probably do something like that. But it would be an issue. It would be an issue if Donald retired. Like I said, they'd have to change their scheme up a little bit. They wouldn't be able to do some of the things they're doing now. They wouldn't have the flexibility because of Donald. And I mean, I'll just say again, it would be incredibly frustrating if he didn't now because free agency's over. And regardless of how you feel now with Von Miller would probably be a Ram if Aaron Donald retired. Like, the Rams would have been able to give him a bigger deal. Maybe Robert Woods is still here. You know, it's like they said it was all financial. Like, what if they felt they had to trade Robert Woods away so they could keep Donald? These are things. I mean, what if they felt like John Johnson, they had to let him go because they had to make room for a Donald extension that was down the road. And then Donald retires. Now John Johnson's on the Browns. Donald's retired. And you don't have anybody. What if that was the way with, Austin Corbett? Not saying it is. Darius Williams. Not saying it is, but worth mentioning, no? Sebastian Joseph Day? Yeah, it might not hurt to have Sebastian Joseph Day if you lost Aaron Donald. Well, too bad. He's at SoFi, but not not your side of SoFi, the other locker room. That's why I think if people they do find themselves annoyed, this is literally what I mean. Like, the Rams have kind of been pushed into a little bit of a corner here. You can use the trade market, but that's really it. So, again, I don't love talking about Aaron Donald in this way because he's the greatest player I've ever seen. He's most dominant by far. But we can't just sit here and not think, wow, okay, so if Donald were to leave, like, the Rams would have to change a lot. Again, I still think they'd be fine. But, Well, I don't think the Bills were even an option. And I think the Bills knew that. The Bills, and Von Miller can say what he wants, but I can tell you right now, I think he wanted to go to Dallas. I don't know why. I don't know what the fascination with Dallas is. Texas is not, bigger than California as far as, for your for marketability. 1. 2, Dallas hasn't won since 1993. They haven't won anything since 1993. 3, their roster's overrated and they're not going to win the division. I don't get the love for Dallas, but I do know that, like, or at least I have the vibe that, like, he was going to go there. But here's why I will say this, Dingus. With the Bills just offered him more money than anybody was going to. That's how they got him, because they knew he was all about the money. And if Donald left, the Rams probably would have just been like, all right, you're all about the money. We gave a 5-year deal to Bobby Wagner. Let's give you a 5-year, 6-year, 7-year deal. Who knows? I mean, Von Miller's out here signing 6-year deals, and Aaron Donald might retire at 31 years old. What are we doing? Oh, okay. That's a little different then. But I still don't know why, like, I don't know. The love for the Cowboys is just bizarre to me. That's why, like, I never understood, like, the whole America's team route. It's like, if there was anybody that's America's team, it's probably the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Steelers have been consistent. They've only had 4 coaches in the history of their franchise they've won a Super Bowl in this, recent 20-year span. And on top of that, they're consistent. Like, they've had great players and they've won as many titles, and I don't know. I do I do find that funny because no state tax means a lot to you and I, but for $1 million, millions upon millions, it just seems funny to me, like, to worry about state tax. I get it, but I'm with you there. Yes. That's exactly, Ashton. That's where I feel like right now, the 2024 first round pick, I would assume, is being allocated to be spent on the successor to Matthew Stafford. Like, I think that they are looking long term with that pick, maybe 2025, and they're looking long term to get the next quarterback of the future for the Rams. But if Aaron Donald were to leave, they've already paid Stafford. Like, that window needs to stay open for as long as they can keep it open. So they would have to put those dreams of having the young quarterback on the back burner if they wanted to keep this window open as it is, because you're trying to become the next dynasty. You're trying to go back to back for the first time since the Patriots in the early 2000s. I believe it was 2003, 2004. You got to make sacrifices, and I think, yeah, the F them picks thing has already proven that it's working out. What's up, P-Train? I have kind of theorized that this could be who they're targeting, but I'll tell you right now, they're not getting Arch Manning if they trade away that 2024 first round pick. They're not going to have any ammunition to do that. So, is what it is there. Is it better than Donald's? I don't think so. I'm gonna look, but I don't think it is. I also don't think Von Miller's contract is like fully guaranteed either. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's see. 6-year, 120 million, 45 million guarantee at signing, free agent in 2028, average annual salary is 20 million. Okay. I mean, total guarantees, it's 51 million. So that's what he's going to come away with guaranteed. Now, Aaron Donald is not 20 million. I think it's higher than 20 million. I don't really see why the contract needs to be that different with Donald, but Aaron Donald, 6 years, 135 million. So it's 22.5 million average salary, which is 2.5 million more per year than Von Miller. He also got 86.8 million in total guarantees, was 50 million guaranteed at signing with a $40 million signing bonus. And he is a free agent in 2025. So I don't know. All I know is that the cap hit in 2022 for Aaron Donald is 26.7 million. But I don't know, folks. I'm like, I try to be, understanding in that regard. I understand it's a business, but I don't really understand how much more do the Rams pay Donald, because his deal's pretty darn good. It's not like they're screwing him over, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels odd. If you want to rework it fine. That's a little different. Oh yeah, yeah. No, if he retires, um, Aaron Donald would free up like 25 million in cap space. I mean, I guess Dingus, but it's hard to know. Like, is he trying to be the first $30 million defensive player? I mean, I don't know what his mission is, and we don't know. There hasn't been anything out there that would suggest he's trying to go after a certain number. So I know there's a lot of people that theorize the idea of trading him to the Steelers because he's from Pittsburgh. I don't see it happening. I think he's going to remain with the Rams or be with no team. That would probably be a pretty bad look, though, if the Rams traded him to the Steelers. But another thing I want to point out is that, like, Aaron Donald is, kind of leaving breadcrumbs. Like, he wants to explore acting. He wants to get in. Like, again, this is why I brought it up. I just feel like, you know. Oh, apparently another civil suit just got filed against Deshaun Watson. Yep. 23rd civil suit. So I don't know what's going on there. But anyway. That's what I'm saying, Nolan, is that, like, if he does retire, the Rams are going to have 23 million in cap space. And since there's no free agents available since he waited so long, um it is very weird to talk about Rams house. But, like, since he waited so long, there's nobody in free agency, so it would be probably a trade. That's my biggest issue. What's up, LA Rams? That's my biggest issue with the whole thing. Yeah, no, yeah, you'll never see me doing that. If I don't have a good, like, if I have a take, but I don't have a good reason for the take, then I don't have a take. That's the first rule of a take, okay? You know, hot takes, not every hot take's a bad take, you know? Not every take doesn't have substance. But you have to have something with your take. You can't just say gibberish and expect to, like, it can't be called a take. Like, you just are saying nonsense. People are going to hate me, but I would absolutely do that in 2 seconds. I would trade Aaron Donald. I would trade Aaron Donald in a 2024 first round pick for TJ Watt tomorrow. Right now. And it's not that I think TJ Watt's the better player, but think about it. Donald's 31 has already talked about retirement. Okay? TJ Watt? TJ Watt's 27. Oh, and apparently he was born on my birthday. The more you know. But yeah, I would absolutely do it. 100%. How long is Aaron Donald going to play? If the Steelers did that move, TJ Watt just signed a deal, right? So TJ Watt's contract is worth 120 million. He signed a 4-year deal. He'd be a free agent in 2026. Like, I don't think that would be dumb at all. Not for the Rams. I think it'd be dumb for the Steelers. I understand Donald is fantastic, but are the Steelers winning a Super Bowl necessarily? Like, why would they make that move? But it does beg the question. Ashton asked, I answered. I mean, hey, I understand how it sounds. They would never give up TJ, but if they were to trade TJ Watt for Aaron Donald and a 2024 first round pick, the 27-year-old TJ Watt, you bet your ass I'm taking that deal. Because they're not going to move TJ Watt. But if they did, I'd take that deal. 100%. By the way, let's look at positional span, shall we? So, the top salaries, okay, top salaries in the league, based on, let's say, we'll do positions, we'll do defense. Aaron Donald is 5th in the league in cap hit. Total cash, he is not top 5. Base salary, he's not top 5. Contract value, he is only behind Khalil Mack, who signed his deal right after Aaron Donald did, literally the day after Aaron Donald. Contract length is tied for the most with Von Miller, Fletcher Cox, Landon Collins, wow, and Khalil Mack. And contract average annual value, because Khalil Mack was paid after Donald, he is out of the top 5. TJ Watt is the most expensive at 28 for a defensive player. Bosa's at 27. Myles Garrett's at 25. Max Crosby's at 23.5. And Khalil Mack's at 23.5. As far as total guarantees, Aaron Donald is guaranteed more money than TJ Watt is. Khalil Mack is ahead of him. Again, contract came the day after Aaron Donald. Myles Garrett has 100. Aaron Donald has 86. Joey Bosa, 102. So, biggest signing bonus, though. It's not like the Rams didn't take care of him. $40 million signing bonus. It's the biggest in the league. Yep. Absolutely. He would lose his mind. As it stands right now, I don't know if he would get a statue, because I don't know if they would do statues or anything like that. But if he did get a statue, it would be the one where he's like this after basically winning the Super Bowl. So, yeah, the Steelers wouldn't, but I think the Rams would definitely do that. Well, looking at the way this whole thing comes out, as far as the contract annual average salary, TJ Watt is at 28. If Aaron Donald wants to be the highest paid player, maybe 28.5 will get it done. But that begs the question, like, can the Rams even go that high? Does he get to a point where you're already closer to 30? Now, does Donald want 30? How far apart will they be? Who knows? But they also got to pay Cooper Kupp, who's going to be around a hell of a lot longer than Aaron Donald. So, something to keep in mind, but should definitely be interesting. We'll probably have some news, I'd imagine, within the next month or so. Probably an update. Yeah, I mean, he might retire in general. Yeah. We'll see. we will certainly see about that. I hope he is. Love Aaron Donald. Because I don't know, that's not him. Again, love the guy, but that's not him. Jeff Fisher is the worst. Yeah, poor Jeff Fisher's 1-6 in the USFL. Not looking good. Yes, please hit that like button. Appreciate you guys showing out. It's been a minute since I've live streamed, so it's good that people still care what I have to say. By the way, completely random, I found out that they call over in Buffalo, they call Gregory Rousseau Groot, and I am now really jealous. I always wanted Gregory Rousseau. I wanted him in the draft. I wanted him to fall to 57. He ended up going the first round, and I was so disappointed. Jake not only likes the boys, but he does watch the boys, and he can't wait for February. He can't wait for Friday. Season 1, Season 2, baby. And now Season 3 is coming out. I love that show. Yeah. I'm not saying he has to take less money, but, maybe not back his team into a corner. It feels like that's kind of what he was doing, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a shame DeForest Buckner isn't available. That sure would be a nice pickup. I love Steven Jackson. Yes, please. We're wrapping this thing up before I go out and deliver food for UberEats. Sources are telling me that this is not far from the truth. I actually don't watch Stranger Things. I couldn't get into it. Alexis has tried to get me into it. I can't. Not saying anything. I don't need him calling into one of my shows. Okay, and this is the root problem. This is the root problem in the NFL and sports in general. Is that 23 million versus 28 million exactly? There really isn't that big of a difference. Money is entirely a status symbol, but then it does beg the question, if you still want to get paid more money than the next guy, if you feel like you deserve more money than TJ Watt, then don't you have something to prove? And don't you care what other people think? I just don't. I guess I don't understand status symbols. It's like the rich guy that has to tell you he's rich. Like we see your suit, buddy. We know it's $1 million suit. We see the diamonds, the gems, all the jewelry you're wearing. Like, this thing isn't even $100. It's a really nice chain. I got it on Jackson. I think OBJ actually has a deal with them. But yeah, got it on Jackson, $98, not even $100. There are people that their chain is like thousands upon thousands of dollars. But what is the point of a status symbol when I can see that you have a lot of money? I know who you are. You're a very reputable person, and yeah, all that. Why do I also, why do you need, even though this car will do you fine, it's considered, luxury sports car, why are you getting the luxury on top of the luxury car? I don't know. To me, the money has gotten to the point in the NFL, it's not get as much money as you can before you get out. It's get as much money as you can when you're there to, just keep up with the pace. So you're constantly on top because it's a status symbol and it's an ego thing. I'm not saying that, necessarily Aaron Donald is egotistical, but, it's a very good point. Very, very, very good point. How much money is enough, though? 23 million versus 28 million. I mean, if you can't live on 23 million, then there is a problem. And I think there genuinely is a problem with athletes overspending. And I mean, I forget what it was. I think it was Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, well, Antoine Walker, I think declared bankruptcy in 2010. And Allen Iverson is bankrupt. He blew through $200 million. But he has a trust fund that he can't access until 2030 due to a clause. So this is how it works. Reebok stacked Iverson's deck. His 2001 deal is arguably the most unique sports endorsement contract of all time. The lifetime deal included a payment structure of $800,000 per year and a $32 million trust for Iverson that he'll gain access to in the year 2030. So Iverson is literally bankrupt. But then in 2030, he's going to get $32 million that he has access to because of his endorsement deal. But, like, this is what I mean. It brings the awareness to a different issue. And it's not saying that Donald has this issue. He has kids. He has a wife. Like, you know, he doesn't have the issue that AI's had. But it does beg the question, though. Like, you know, how much money is enough, though? 23 million versus 28 million. I mean, is it really that necessary? Is it that necessary to hold your team over a barrel, you know? Definitely think that's interesting. Wildman Samurai, thank you so much for donating. Jake, my final take is to have faith in Stan Kroenke, Les Snead, and Sean McVay. The Los Angeles Rams organization will not let Aaron Donald go. Horns up. I hope so. I think you're right, but again, we'll see. It's kind of, it's kind of the nature of the beast, right? Boofy, glad to be subscribed to your content, brother. Keep up the great work. Appreciate that, my friend. Spending money on stupid shit. If I had that much money, I'd invest it. Even though capital gains is like the most... We won't get into the politics, but the capital gains tax is absolutely insane. The amount of taxes I had to pay because I made all that money off crypto and stocks makes me not want to ever trade stocks again, if I'm being real. But no, I would invest it if I had that much money. I'd get the best camera possible. I'd get a house, really good house. Buy one for me, buy one for my family. Maybe upgrade my car. You know. I don't need a yacht. Like I don't need a yacht. I don't need any of that crazy stuff. I'd still be wearing the same shirt. You know. This would still be the most expensive piece of, anything that I'd be wearing on me. I'd upgrade my glasses because they're like broken. You would never know it, but they are. My mic is great. My computer's fantastic. Like there's not much I would really do. I understand it's really easy for me to say because I've never had that, but I can tell you right now, I wouldn't blow through $200 million. I mean, I don't know. That's another thing. I wouldn't have stupid parties to get myself put in situations that just cause me pain, anguish, and, you know, putting me in a position where I have to spend money that I don't want to spend. I will say this. You know, one little luxury I would have if I had that much money, I would have a personal chef. I would really like that. I think that is where I would shell out the cash. I would have a personal chef. I would not go and eat fast food. That is what I would do. Interesting. I would hope so. I think that goes without saying, Nolan. If he walks, he walks. I wish he would have made the decision a lot sooner. Really could have built the defense around Ramsey. It's true. It's true. Appreciate you donating, by the way. Really helping me out. This month has been one of the worst months. And I don't mean to be negative. I'm not trying to be negative. But monetary wise, this has been one of the worst months because I just haven't put out as much content as I normally do. It's the dead period, man. Is anyone else tired of the off season? I sure am. Like I really hate this part of the season. Like I don't even know what I'd be talking about if Aaron Donald wasn't, this wasn't even a thing. No, I feel that. Glad you did. Look, draft season, free agency, lot of fun, right? Great to cover. I enjoy it. We have a lot of good, interaction, but my God, I don't care about OTAs, training camp. It just goes so slow. I'm like, oh, it's brutal. It really is. It's the dead period. And just wait until they're not in OTAs. That long period before training camp is like mega dead. Like, we're going to have to create content out of thin air. Like, I don't even know what we're going to do. But, I mean, seeing as this is one of my main forms of income, I'm going to need to be able to figure something out. Always taking suggestions, by the way. If you guys have a certain thing that you want to see, certain content you want me to put together, let me know. Yeah, I just don't like the off season really. Just like I don't like these glitches. I can see like my display is slowing down. I have no idea why. It's so annoying. Oh, if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out the Kyron Williams video. Also, we interviewed Elijah Garcia, the UDFA, for the Rams. So be sure to check that out as well. I also posted a YouTube short of me singing karaoke. It's like 15 seconds. So if you're into that, if you want to laugh, there you go. Been really busy today. We're posting all sorts of content. We got interviews, we got film breakdowns, and karaoke. So who knows what else is coming, but you know. Yeah, the Kyron Williams video I thought was pretty good. Came out well. I was excited to drop that. Yeah, I like Elijah. Max contracts, that might actually be the move. It's getting to the point where that might be the move. It's true. I mean, this is baseball season. I'm going to a baseball game tomorrow. Yankees, Angels. So yeah, I like throwing those shorts in there. I'm curious, and I haven't really gone into it, but how would you guys care about vlogs? Like, I know some people do care about my life. They're interested. Like when I post those concert ones, they like it, but I'm not trying to blow up my channel. I'm not trying to get a bunch of unsubscribers. I get those a lot. Like again, I'll get like Rams fans that are like, "Oh, you said something bad about Cam Akers, unsubscribe." I'm like, "All right, guy." But it's not guaranteed. It's becoming more real than it was in the past. That'd be interesting. I feel like if I did that, then I'd get make more Rams content, make more Rams content. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, what Rams content do you want? Do you want me to make a documentary? Like, there's not really a lot to dig up at that point. I could do a preview of every team. I gotta get monetized on there. I definitely gotta get monetized on there. Yeah, maybe. Yes. Alexis Kraft, my co-host, my dear friend Alexis, is going live. I think it's 8 on her channel, so be sure to check that out. I will be going live more on here. We'll just be doing more Q&A stuff because there's just not going to be a lot to talk about. There really isn't a lot to talk about. So we'll be doing Q&A, and on top of that, check out my call-in stuff. Definitely check that out. I assume if you had $200 million, I feel that. That definitely makes sense. Wow, he did not like that. I like baseball. I'm a Yankees fan, but most of you are Dodgers fans. I get it. Yeah, I know. Dingus will just ask 2 questions, and it'll literally last like 47 minutes of like the Q&A because those always get the Jake rants, but not like against him. It's a good thought provoking. He's very good at thought provoking questions. This is a good question. What's the difference between Kyron Williams and Sony Michel? Similar speed. Sony Michel runs, I think, with better power, better balance. He runs with more of a bigger upper half, whereas I feel like Kyron Williams has a bigger lower half. Um, Kyron Williams is a better pass protector, but they're both good. Kyron Williams is a better receiver, but they're both solid. Kyron Williams is a more polished route runner. Kyron Williams, they have the same amount of burst, getting like lateral agility, getting to the outside. They're kind of similar. Sony Michel's taller. Yeah, I don't know. I could put together something like that. Maybe that might be the move. Yes, go Breakers. Offensive player of the week, Kyle Sloter. I was covering the Breakers, and it just became too much for me. Why? The Angels look good. I'm seeing them tomorrow. Nestor Cortez and Reed Detmers. Yeah, see, like, I'm just not in the business. Like, I've seen YouTube channels not talking about Rams content creators. They're my friends. I'm not throwing shade at them. But I've seen YouTube channels that are literally like, it is so dry with the NFL offseason that, like, they're taking just clips like Devontae Adams jumps up and makes a huge catch. I'm like, I would hope so. I would hope so. Madden rated him a 99 and Cooper Kupp a 98. I would hope he's coming up and making a catch when he's not being covered in OTAs. Would hope so. But I've been noticing that type of content, and I'm like, I'm not, no matter what happens, going to make an entire 10-minute video about one catch in OTAs. You will never see me do that. That will be the death of this channel the day I start doing that. That is not the content you are here for. That is not the content that you will consume. It's not happening. Not on my watch. I think it's going to be cool to be at the Yankees-Angels game because all the superstars there tomorrow. I mean, we're going to have, Judge. We're going to have Ohtani, Trout. I think Stanton's out, but Cortez is probably, he's an opportunity to win the Cy Young this year, so. Random question, if Patrick Bateman was about to kill you, what song would you want to be playing before he whacks you? LOL. Probably Farewell to Flesh by Ice Nine Kills. It would have to be something like heavy, and it would have to be metalcore. Yeah, Farewell to Flesh by Ice Nine Kills. Yeah, they took me out of the rotation. Did I tell you that? So Rams Bleacher Report used to have me in their rotation. They used to have Downtown Rams, and they used to put my tweets out there. And, I mean, I guess getting verified ruins it because we got verified and they started taking us out. So, I don't know. I like Bleacher Report way more back in the day with Matt Miller, and I don't know. I still have friends there, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I was a little disappointed that, they took us out. It was like, all right. So you don't view us as news. I get it. Is what it is. Let's see. So, let's see here. One thing I want to point out before, we hit the hay on this one. Is anyone an MCU fan here? Don't leave if you're a Rams fan that doesn't like the MCU. I'm going to get to you in a sec. But is anyone an MCU fan here? Because it would really help me out if you hit that link, you went over to the call-in app, and you subscribe to that podcast. Every Monday, I do an MCU show that is live. We talk about anything Marvel Cinematic Universe. Come, relax, chill, maybe get your favorite adult beverage or soft drink if you're not an adult, and just chill. Call in, talk. Anyone's welcome. But be sure to hit that link and subscribe. I have 29 subscribers, just started it. Really would help if everyone that likes the MCU could hit that link. The next thing I'm going to put out there is I'm going to draw attention to this thing right here. It's called Rams Edge, and it is a Rams show on Call-In, exclusively on Call-In. I'm covering the Rams on Call-In 2 times a week, I might add. So Rams Edge, essentially, we have 54 subscribers. It has moved up a little bit. We got to get more live people in there. You can call in at any point, ask about the Rams, talk about the Rams. That's the Rams show, exclusively the Rams show. As I get a spam risk call, definitely going to decline that. So be sure to hit the link, subscribe to the channel. We have 54 on there. Love to see that number go up. Also love to see the number of MCU Edge go up at 29. Also, if you like the MCU, I have the MCU Edge Twitter account. Now that's there, we're almost at 200 followers, so you can hit up that Twitter account at MCU Edge on Twitter. But that is pretty much everything going on with me, except for UberEats. And what I'll say, for people that were asking me, hey, what is the way to go if I'm doing food delivery? Should I do Uber Eats or should I do DoorDash? Or should I do Grubhub? Well, I'm waitlisted on Grubhub. There's too many people in this area. But if you're looking to make some decent money, weekly or daily. You can just cash out the same day. Uber Eats. Telling you. Uber Eats is the way to go. Some days I literally make $28 an hour. Okay. Some days they're a little dead than others, and it like gradually picks up. But I've been asked that question, so I'm answering it. DoorDash, I hate DoorDash. I don't recommend it. They time you. They give you awful orders. I've done them both, and I just like Uber Eats way more. Like, for instance, I had an order. You get paid $25 to drive 6 miles. I think it was the best order I got. $25 for 6 miles. You have to understand how good that is. So, $25 for 6 miles on Uber Eats. But then I got an order right after that on DoorDash where I had to drive 20 miles for $5. So, for those of you who are asking, I think it's pretty clear and obvious. I've already done the experimenting. Uber Eats is the way to go. Also, for anyone out there that is interested in trying the Nitro Pepsi, don't do it. I almost didn't go live, and I almost didn't go out and deliver again because I felt so disgusting after having it. I was nauseous. I am not a fan. I am not a fan of that drink at all. Do not recommend it. Buyer beware. I would not put that in my body ever again. I can just tell you that right now. It made me absolutely sick to my stomach. So, just figured I'd throw that out there. I missed a couple of past call-ins because life got crazy lately, but for anyone who hasn't checked it out, it's a really good time. Definitely give it a listen if y'all can. Appreciate that. I'm stoked for the next SCU. I love how I can't even talk now. MCU Live. Appreciate that. Fair price for AD. I'd say 25. He doesn't need to be the highest paid defensive player. He's about to retire, Coke, yeah, Coke's better than Pepsi anyway. I don't really like bean soda, to be honest with you. I'm more of a Sprite and ginger ale guy, personally. But DoorDash, y'all tripping? I mean, for real. For real. It's pathetic. This is funny.
From our Department of Tax Debt and Financial Settlement Services. There are new programs that can help you reduce or eliminate your debt completely. It is possible that your tax debt can now be considered temporarily non-collectible. You can call me back at my personal desk, 833.
I get these scam calls all day, and it's so annoying. It's really annoying. Don't leave me a message. Stop with the scam calls. I'm tired of it. I wasn't going to dox the guy's number in case he wasn't a scam caller, but it did say scam. Or spam. Spam, scam, what difference does it make? But it's unreal, though. You guys get those calls? I know you do. Cars extended warranty? Yeah, shut the hell up. What do you think is a fair price for OBJ? I'd say 10 million, heavy incentive based per year. I think so as well. I mean, I think it's a bigger deal than I initially thought, and that's why I decided to talk about it today. But I think we've talked about everything enough. We've been live for an hour and 30. I'm going to go do some deliveries, and then we'll probably go live Thursday. I'll be at Yankee Stadium tomorrow to see the Yankees and Angels. So, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to all the call-in links that I gave you. And also, yes, I know, they're really aggressive. It's ridiculous. Also, be sure to hit up the Discord. We have 332 members, but we do want more. So, join our Discord. There you go. That's our Discord link. Hope you guys enjoyed again. Really appreciate you guys coming around and supporting the channel as always. Really does help me out, makes my life easy, and I look forward to the next time we all reconvene or whatever, and talk more Rams football, MCU, whatever you guys want to talk about. But that's gonna do it for this one. So I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys soon. You guys take care. Again, I'll see you guys soon.